Hello everyone, my name is Phuc. Investing is very important for a business or an individual in order to success. And now I will talk about investment. And I will talk about investment and also about its relationship with inflation and what are some types of investment that can be able to protect the investors against inflations, and about what will happen if the economy of a business is experiencing little or no inflation at all. So now, first, I will define what is inflation and what is investment. Inflation, it happens when the general prices of goods and things goes up. And the rate of inflation, it is how fast the prices are rising up. And now, about investment, then investment, it is like an item, an asset or a portfolio that the investor purchases with the hope that they can be able to sell back the investment with a profit. So now, apart from that, I will talk about what are some types of investment. So first, it is stocks. A stock is a partial shares of a company, and by purchasing a stock, the investors can be able to own a part of the company, and then for some stocks, then the owners can also receive annually or monthly shares of that company's profit. And if the company is doing well, then more people will be interested in buying that stock and thus raising the prices of the stocks. But if the company is doing badly, then the stock prices will go down. And next, which is about bonds or fixed income. So what I mean by that is that the investors will, for bonds, the investor will pay an upfront on fees, and then the investors will just pay their annual or like a quarter of a month fees up to a point when they have reached the agreement with the people who license the bonds, or normally the governments. So that means that after they have done paying all of the fees, then the investor will be able to receive a fixed amount of income for the rest of their life. And the next, which is about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, it is a blockchain type of, it based on blockchain. So which means that it is like an e-money, and the companies will be able to just introduce this one, and it has a limited amount, not like any other currency, which normally can just be printed out by paper by the government. And then next, another type, which is about real estate or mortgages, which I means it, and what is that? It is just about like when the investors purchases homes or mortgages or any other things like lands or houses that it can be used for investment purposes. For example, the investor can be able to buy a plot of land, and then it is a real estate, and then they can be able to sell it. And it can also be called an investment. And then next, which is about commodities. Commodities. It is like raw materials. And then there's mutual funds. And then there are either collectibles, which means that investor will buy rare old things, or like things which a lot of people are into, and then sell it with higher prices in order to make profit. And the next, And there are also some sort of other investment. It's more like gamble, for example, buying a lotto or scratch ticket can also be counted as an investment. And also the investment can also be investing in a high interest rate bank, which can also be counted as an investment, of course. So which all of the types of investment, which offers some protections to inflation. First, it can be stocks. Stocks with a company with a high sense, because the stocks will normally give an annual return rate of about 10%, which is more than the inflation of most countries, which means that stocks will always give a really good amount of income for the investors. And then next, there's also the bonds, because the bonds with the government's bonds, normally it will offer, because the amount of money that investors receive with bonds will rise if the inflation rises, because the government promised that. And the next type of stocks is that the next type of investment that offers some protections is that commodities and gold. And sometimes it can be Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. But I don't really think about cryptocurrency because prices in the crypto market or the Bitcoin market are really wild. It can rise really high, but can also reduce. It can also reduce very quickly. So I don't really know if it is a type of investment, because it is a very risky investment. And then about the types of investment that don't offer any protection, which it is normally about like banks with high interest, because not I don't think that there are many amounts of bank with offers a higher interest rate than the inflations. And then there are also the mutual funds, or they can also be like, but like other, like for example, the real estate can also offer some protection, but it also not, based on the investor purposes and based on the investor knowledge. And then from that, there is also, now I have talked about all of the types of investment, and which I will go with next is about the connection between inflation and investment. First, when inflation rises, the rate of inflation, it indicates how fast are the prices going up. Or in other words, how the investment values are going down. For example, $100 now, 100,000 Vietnam now can be able to buy customers like fancy apples, but now 150,000 Vietnam later, or like in 5 years, can only be able to buy like 15 apples. So which means that the investment values or the purchasing powers are actually going down. So it will have a negative, so it normally in most cases have a negative impact on investment values. And then another, and then what is the connection between and about how investment affects inflation is that in the economy of a country, if there are little buy, so if people are investing more and more and more, buying more, that means the economy is doing well, and thus the government can be able to reduce the inflation rate. So that are the connections. Next up, I will talk about what will happen if the economy of a country is experiencing little or no inflation at all. Although high inflation is very bad, but if there are little or no inflation at all, or like deflation, which is when prices decrease, then it is a sign that the economy of that country is not doing well, because it will encourage the customer not to buy anything, which means that the country will experience with lower salary because no one is buying. So that means the companies don't have any money to buy its employees, to buy its employers, and then which is just very terrible for the economy overall, and the economy will just collapse. And I think that that is everything that I want to talk about today. And thank you everyone for listening to my video, and I hope you have a great week. Thank you.